Babe,
So,
what is the best part about being single?
this part about what?
Being single.
There's nothing. Nothing's good about it at all. Honestly, the best part of being single was meeting you.
Is what?
Was meeting you.
Oh, that's sweet. Some good words. You can take
true.
it fast.
That was the best part. Nothing else was good about it.
Okay, so y'all, I wanted to do a little bit of a continuation of the last video that I made about a month ago. It's been a little bit of time. It's been a little while since I last made a video. It's just been a lot going on in my life. But anyways, I wanted to do kind of a little bit of a follow-up because I got a lot of feedback from that video. I'm gonna actually put it down in my description box. So if you guys have not seen it, if you want to watch it, the majority of the video, it was based off of a piece of content that I came across on TikTok where it was like this Arab looking girl, and she was talking to this black guy about how women of other cultures give up a lot to be with black men, and I guess it's in a lot of ways it's somewhat taboo for them to date black men or marry black men or whatever. And that was basically the gist of the podcast. And I was just kind of giving my thoughts on it and blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people did not like that. There was a lot of backlash in the comment section, but that's not necessarily what this video is about. But this video is about in the latter part of that video. So some people may not have even gotten that far, but in the latter part of the video, I had started talking about kind of flip the script a little bit. I started talking about like the Russell Wilson and Ciara situation. And it kind of sparked a whole nother conversation that I really want to get into. So, hence the reason for this particular video. So I want to talk about this whole like Russell Wilson dynamic because I feel like there's a lot, and other women have noticed this too. It's just a lot of men who really just don't like the Russell Wilson Ciara marriage. They don't like the relationship dynamic between them because I guess, Russell Wilson basically picked Ciara up after she had a baby, after she became technically a baby mama. And they have a problem with that. And to be honest, I really just never understood the whole backlash behind it. Like, there's so many comment sections and so many podcasts from men talking about how Russell Wilson is a simp and how he's just doing too much and that there's no way that he could be happy, and you know he chose wrong, he made the wrong decision, and blah blah blah. So, and I'm seeing this everywhere, and I'm like, it's just mind-boggling to me because from my perspective as a woman, I'm just not seeing what the men are seeing in that relationship. I don't see a man who is miserable. I don't see a man who's unhappy. I don't see a man who feels like he chose wrong. Now, from a man's perspective, though, they see it differently. They see it as, this woman already had a baby by the bad boy, the future, the bad, the boy. Like you already you made that mistake. You had a baby by a man who already had multiple kids with multiple women. Why would you sign up to be a baby mama? We constantly tell women that they need to choose better. So why would you choose that when you could have chose better in the beginning? And even I myself have talked about women choosing better on my channel before. So I can't necessarily say that they're wrong in feeling like, why didn't she choose better in the beginning, right? But here's the thing. I never really understood why men had a problem with Russell Wilson and Ciara situation until I actually started talking and listening to what men were actually saying about the situation. And one of my followers slash friends, like Facebook friends, we don't know each other in real life, but he kind of explained what men are feeling about this sort of relationship dynamic and the reason why they have a problem with it. And so this is, from what I gather, this is what he was saying. So one of the things that he said was, when men are telling women to choose better, they mean choose better the first time, not after. Don't go and mess around with a bad boy. And then after you've been played and made into a baby mama, now you want to go out here and find the good guy to sort of clean up the mess in a way. That's pretty much what he was trying to say and how men kind of feel about this sort of relationship dynamic. It's like men don't want women to get the impression that they can play around and have fun with the bad boy, make a mistake, quote unquote. We don't want to call a little future a mistake. No child is a mistake. But they don't want women to get this impression that they can have a redemption after messing with the bad boy, the bad boy, the guy who's already impregnated and took a bunch of women off the market and made baby mamas everywhere. And you, as a woman, you decide to go out here and be baby mama number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or whatever, and have his baby too. And now you're basically one of his concubines, and they feel like, oh, now you want me to sort of clean up the mess, and now I'm supposed to take care of the child that you created with another man. And I'm supposed to clean up this mess. That's kind of how they're thinking, and this is what I've gathered from what I've read and what they said. This is what I was told from a male, and this is kind of how they think. I almost kind of feel like the energy is kind of saying like women really don't deserve redemption after a mistake. Like it's like once you make that choice, it's kind of like you have to live with that choice and you don't get redemption after that. Like you cannot, like once you make that sort of a choice and that sort of a mistake, it's like you need to just live with that forever. You cannot have any sort of redemption. You cannot have love and happiness and have a marriage after that type of a mistake. I really feel like a lot of men don't want women to feel like they can find happiness after they make a mistake. And I honestly really feel like that's a very unfair judgment. That's a very unfair way to feel about women, even though I don't want to make excuses for bad behavior, but at the same time, I do feel like everybody deserves a second chance. And I don't really understand this whole energy of Russell Wilson making a mistake and choosing wrong, because there's nothing about their relationship that says that Russell Wilson is unhappy. Like he doesn't look, no videos, no posts, no pictures that I've ever seen have shown that he seems to be unhappy. He seems to be very happy. So I don't understand, where is this projection? Because that's literally what it is. It's a projection of how a lot of men think that he should feel, or how they think they would feel in that type of situation. They're projecting that onto him, and he's not showing any signs of feeling like he made a mistake. Like I see so many comments from men anytime there's a post about Russell Wilson or Ciara, there's so many comments in the comment section from men who are saying that, oh, I feel like he chose wrong. He could have picked somebody better. Like he could have picked somebody who didn't have kids, or why would he choose her? Like, but it's like he's happy. So does that even really matter? Like, and does a woman not having kids make her a great dating option? Does that really just because a woman doesn't have kids does not mean that she's a good woman or that she will even be a good mom at all. Sometimes women don't have kids because they know that they don't have the patience to deal with it. Some women, just because you don't have kids does not mean that you are a good person. Not having kids does not equate to being a good person. It does not equate to being a good woman. It does not equate to being somebody who is capable of being in a healthy relationship with somebody. Because there's some crazy bitches out here that don't have no kids. I'm just saying, I've met them before, so I know. And I'm really just baffled by the whole thing, because the thing is, if Russell had been an abusive, neglective stepfather, then he still would have been getting backlash, but in a different way. Like, it's kind of like a lose-lose situation. It's like you're going to have people who are going to dislike your situation because they feel like you shouldn't have chose a woman who already had a kid, and you know, the if you're the baby's father, then you should not want another man to come in and try to play daddy to your son. But then on the flip side of that, it's like, well, what if he was just this terrible guy that was abusive? You would still have a problem with it. That would actually be even worse. So it's technically really a lose-lose situation. You know, like there's always going to be somebody who has a problem with this type of relationship dynamic. I feel like they're always going to kind of sort of get this like backlash. And I think a part of a lot of my confusion with this whole thing, because I try to understand both sides, but I think my confusion with this is that I haven't actually seen any real resolution, like any podcast that I've ever seen that who of men who had a problem with this situation. I've never actually seen them have a resolution to the situation. It was always more so just addressing the problem, but it was never any resolution. Like, okay, well, look, women, if you decide to go this route, this is the resolution. This is your options. This is what realistically what would happen after that. There was really nothing of that sort. It was really more so just sort of like a projection of emotions and feeling like, oh, he shouldn't have chose her because she had a baby by somebody else, by the boy, the bad boy, the guy that already has multiple women, and he's already got all these women. So why would she go for him? And she really doesn't deserve redemption after making that choice. But there's never really been any real dialogue of a resolution. And I think that's a part of the problem that I have a lot of times when these conversations are had. It's like there's never any resolution. Like, okay, well, what is she supposed to do? Who is she supposed to choose? She's supposed to choose better, but who is she supposed to choose now after the situation? And there's never an answer to that question. I've not once seen an answer to that question. But anyways, y'all, I say all of that just to say this. One of the points that I just really wanted to make is being a step parent is not always a bad thing. I really feel like there's a lot of young Black boys out here, maybe even a lot of guys watching this right now, who would have loved to have a good stepfather in their life who could have stepped in place of the father that they were missing. Because a lot of in our community, let's just be real, a lot of fathers are missing from the household. And I'm pretty sure a lot of young Black men would have loved to have a father figure in their life, especially one who has the means to take care of him and to love him as his own, and who's willing to do so. Like, it's not always about the relationship between the man and the woman. Sometimes we got to think about the kids, like think about the child and the situation. Like it's a good relationship dynamic. Now they have three beautiful children together, and now they're all like kind of like one big happy family. At least that's what it looks like. And I feel like a lot of people would have loved to have had that in their life. So let's not take away the power and the benefits of a good step parent. Now, I don't know what type of parent that Future is to his son, but I do know from what I've seen is that the relationship dynamic that it seems like that Future has with that Russell has with little Future just seems to be very healthy. And I'm pretty sure a lot of young Black men would have loved to have that type of relationship with a man growing up to that they can look up to. And I'm even just gonna use my own mom as an example. Like my biological grandfather, like my mom's biological dad, was never there for his kids. Like my mom was raised, the man in the household was her stepfather. Like that's who they saw as their father. And he really stepped up to four kids that were not his, and he really raised them and he loved them as his own. And my mother loved she loved her stepdad as her own father. And she cried so bad when he passed away. Like you would have thought that he was actually her biological father. So let's not discount that and act like that's not an important thing or like that cannot be a beneficial thing. I'm just saying, y'all. I just wanted to say that just to point that back out. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think about this whole topic. I just wanted to address that because I had so many comments from a lot of men who just did not like that video. They did not like what I was saying about Russell Wilson. They didn't like the fact that I addressed anything in that video. And I will leave that particular video if you're interested in watching it in my description box below. And make sure you like the video. Like I always say, like the video if you like the video, subscribe if you like my content and you want to see more from me. I love to have you as a part of my Theo the Truth family. And yeah, so let's just talk about it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys next time.